So hi guys, as you can see, today's conversation is going deep. It's going into it. We're going to have that conversation of how the Lulu is definitely not the Sululu. Anyway, so let's go right into it because I'm trying to make this video as short as I can. So first of all, I want to appreciate all those people who subscribed. I really do appreciate. And those who are coming in, please subscribe, please hit the like button, please share so that we can be known that we are out here. I'm so excited. Like today I'm in such a good mood. I don't even know why I'm in such a good mood, but it is what it is. Anyway, so let's talk about how we are delusional. So we've started our lives with a mentality, or rather we grew up believing that we are going to change the men we marry. No, this conversation for today is mainly the mamas. Like, because if I look at the guys are not like us. From the perspective, is what you see is what you get. They're very visual, and if they see you and they don't like what they see, they will not approach you. Now us, the feminine gender, hey, the way we have hopes. So we go into relationships with the mentality of, oh, I don't like his dress code, I'm going to change it. Oh, I don't like how he cleans up, I'm going to change it. Oh, we're going to build this guy to this person that I have envisioned in our minds. And this day we were having this conversation with the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit was flat out and was like, sees that is nowhere in the Bible. And I was freaked out. I was thinking to myself, are you kidding me? Like, you know, my conversations with the Holy Spirit are so random. Like sometimes I even sit down and I'm asking myself, like, did you really have to break it down to me like this? But anyway, this is how the conversation came across. So we were chilling at home watching Beauty and the Beast, and then in my head I have this mentality of, like this is what we have been sold to since we were kids. There's this pretty girl, she meets this beast, she loves him, she cleans him up and turns him into a Prince Charming. Yes, we were programmed to believe that you can transform men, and it does not work like that. In fact, that is quite contrary and contradictory to what God has ordained it to be. So I was here sitting and I hear the Holy Spirit saying, do you know that is wrong? And according to my word, it's the guy that cleans you up. So first of all, let's start with the fact that men like the finished product. So they will not be interested in like fixing you up. They're not fixer-uppers in the first place, but this is initially what they're intended to be. They're supposed to fix you up. They're supposed to cleanse you. They're supposed to wash you and present you to themselves. And this is why the gospel of submission is preached. Now, as women, we're supposed to submit to the cleansing and the washing of these men. However, we have the cart in front of the horse. I know this is going to be such an intense conversation because feminists out here will come for me. This is not a pick-misha conversation. Please note, not at all. This is the biblical truth. So, number one, you're not going to change him into anything. Men don't change. So you've heard this thing saying all the time that, oh, men change for the woman they want to. Please note the statement. Please read into it. Don't understand it from your perspective. Understand it from what they are actually saying. And this is quoted from men. Men change for the woman they want to. So that means it's them who decide to change, not you convincing them to change. That's number one. So number one, you cannot even change a man in the first place. You cannot. That get it out of your head. You're not going to change him for nobody, for nothing. Number two, he changes when he wants to and into what he feels he needs to be. So the change is initiated from him. Okay, let's proceed kidogo. We've seen so many trends right now. Black girl effect, Asian man effect. Listen, no. you'll see them transform, but then you'll hear them murmur. I've actually seen a trend of a conversation of a guy. It was so funny watching that WhatsApp conversation. It was trending. It was a locally based conversation where guys were conversing. A guy and his best friend were conversing of how the woman has come in and reshuffled his own house. Like, he doesn't know where the ingredients for making meals is, and why he needs a picture on the ingredients for him to know what goes where. And it hit me this morning as I was thinking about today's conversation, and it hit me that by the way we force men to be things that they're not even subscribed to, they don't even want it in the first place. And let me back that up scripturally before you guys come for my neck. So we're going to read from Ephesians chapter 5 verse 26. So we'll start from 25. Sawa sawa. So, husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself gave himself, okay, let me go back. Let me scratch and go back. And gave himself up for her to make her holy, cleansing her by the washing with water through the word, and to present her to himself as a radiant church, without stain or wrinkle or any other blemish, but holy and blameless. In this same way, husbands ought to love their today is, the tongue is not tonguing, eh? So husbands ought to love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. After all, no one has ever hated their own body, but they feed and care for the body just as Christ does for the church. So it's this guy to wash you into what he likes. Us, in our minds, we are in this phase where we are washing the men and making them what we want. And that has brought a lot of clash. We've had so many conversations of how men are like, oh, you're not going to make me. We're not two men in this relationship. And I always used to wonder, what does that freaking mean? What do you mean that we're not two men? I'm not even trying to be a man. Well, in simplicity, what it meant was, you cannot play your vision out for me to conform to it. It's me to have a vision. You're supposed to bring your vision. We mend it, blend it, submerge, become one. It's the woman to bend, unfortunately, or fortunately, because all things work together for good for those that love the Lord. So I believe that even when God intended that the woman is to submit to the husband as Christ, as the man submits to Christ, it's coming from a point of love. Now, we women have come to a space where we are really fighting that truth, and we are fighting our marriages, fighting our husbands, trying to conform them into what? If you don't like who he is, let him be. If you don't like that he drinks, let him get the one who doesn't mind. If you don't like the fact that he doesn't leave, put the toilet seat down, get the one that actually does. Just have standards. The thing about that I admire most about men is they will not, when you get into the house, they will not try and change you. They will not like tell you, oh, when they married you, they knew you don't cook. You won't hear them telling you, now start cooking. They'll go to the kitchen and cook for themselves. We've seen it countless times. But it's us. It's us who have the problem of, oh, I don't like the way he dresses, but I will marry him because he has these other good advantages, and then we will clean him up. Unless he wants to do it, you guys are going to have a clash for the titans, and it's not going to be hilarious. And the Lord was telling me, woman, listen to me. If I, your God, don't force no man to conform or change. He has to do it of his own will. Who are you as a woman? In fact, it's funny, today morning when I was in the shower, the Lord asked me, now let me ask you, Gloria, if you ladies think you could have changed this man, wouldn't I have appointed all of you to be evangelists? Because I need this man turning, I need this man changing. But that's not how it works. And that was the conversation for today. Women, marry what you want. Marry your type. Choose the vision you want to submit to. Choose the man you want to lead you. He will don't fall in love with the ideology of who he can be. Fall in love with the ideology of who he is. If you like who he is, then simple and clear, go right ahead and finalize and do your procedures and ratios. But if you don't like who he is and you want to walk into marriage, first of all, it's the skin that sheds off that will shock you. In marriage, people's true colors really do come out. So you can imagine going into your marriage with the mentality of, oh, by the way, I'm going to go into the marriage and I'm going to settle him down. He's a club guy, I'm going to make him settle down. It doesn't work like that. He has to choose that for himself. You have to choose that for yourself. Choose what works for you. Choose what you like. And then make it work. So that's our conversation for today. Beauty, you're not going to kiss no beast into a Prince Charming. Let the beast be. Let him choose. Let him know what love is. Remember, even in the story of Beauty and the Beast, the guy had to figure out. The lady softened him up, but he had to figure out what true love is. It was nothing to do with the external, but everything to do with the inside. So love you guys. Please subscribe. Please share. Mwah.